All right, this is Sports for Real with Coach Hall. I am down here in Everbank Stadium. The Jaguars right now facing the Colts. And just had a 10-point lead. The Colts just scored a touchdown to close it to 20-17. Now the Jaguars are trying to put together a drive to get another 10-point lead. They just got another first down. They're up against the clock. This is pretty much do or die for the Jaguars. The theme of this game was 9. Coming into this game, the Jaguars had lost 9 straight starts under Trevor Lawrence. And that means the one game that Bobby Beathard won for them last year, or C.J. Beathard won for them last year, that gives them a 1-9 mark over the last 10 games. So it is imperative that they come through with a victory today. Not only that, you have the fact that the Colts hadn't won in 10 straight. This is the 10th trip since they won back in 2014. So they lost 9 straight games to the Jaguars. So some streaks on the line today that must end. So there has to be some kind of reckoning or straightening for somebody to turn these streaks around. But I want to talk a little bit about yesterday before we get into the Jaguars. I'm going to be on FanGo Live today, and as soon as the game's over with, we're in the fourth quarter now. But you had the monumental upset last night. Vanderbilt knocked off Alabama. After winning the epic battle against Georgia, nobody could see that Alabama was going to take a fall. They've given all these accolades to the Alabama players and the coaching staff, especially Jalen Milroe. And then he played a decent game yesterday, but they just couldn't seem to get the ball long enough to try to do enough damage. And in the end, Vanderbilt just made the plays to win the game. And that is a huge shock. But they weren't the only ones who got knocked off yesterday. USC, Tennessee, a couple other teams in the top 25 got knocked off. And Miami, it looks like they have the glass slipper this year because they have survived 2 weeks in a row when they should have got beat. The first game they lost, they should have lost to Virginia Tech. A bad review by the officials allowed them to escape that. And they come back last night to steal a game from California. Then the coach had the nerve to complain about the schedule makers for the ACC. What difference does it make where you play and when you play? You better be ready to play when it's time to play. And they played well enough to come back in the end to steal that game. But what's next for the Hurricanes? They're going to have to do better than what they did last night against California. And eventually that glass slipper is going to break. USC, we'll talk about them later, but there's no reason why they should have lost to Minnesota. They had no reason that they should have lost to Michigan. So again, Lincoln Riley is starting to look suspect here because you're losing the games that you're supposed to win. Now the Jaguars just scored a touchdown, went back up by 10. So they're trying to break the streak. Doug Peterson, his job is on the line today. If they lose today, I don't see how he can survive to the next week. Trevor Lawrence has lost 9 straight starts. I don't know how you can justify that kind of money to lose 9 straight starts. And the one game they did win in that span is when the backup, C.J. Beathard, came in. Show you how much they appreciate him. They shipped him out. That's not good. Right now, it looks like the Jaguars have a chance to coach off. And the poor Colts, again, they lost 9 straight games coming into this one, Jacksonville, at home. And I think there's a reason for that. If you recall, back in 1979, Colts owner Robert Irsay, he started bringing the Colts here to Jacksonville. Fed up with not being able to get a stadium in Baltimore, he comes to Jacksonville, making them think they're going to move the franchise here. But what he was really doing was trying to get leverage against Baltimore in the new stadium. Well, that didn't happen. But what he did do was put Jacksonville on the radar of NIL. So 14 years later, that's how they ended up with the Jaguars, because that momentum continued to build. As far as the coach, he could never get the stadium down in Baltimore, so Jacksonville was out there. He started fishing around. That's how he ended up with Indianapolis. But they had what Jacksonville didn't. They had the money to build in the stadium, or at least had better facilities than what the stadium was. So what they ended up doing was moving. So going back where I feel about the Colts, I think the Colts are cursed when they come to Jacksonville for what they tried to do back in 1979, dangling head out in front of the fans. You know, that night when they 50,000 people waiting in the stand, helicopter on the 50-yard line at the old Gator Bowl, and they had the people all excited for nothing. He knew he was just trying to get a better deal in Baltimore. So he finally got his deal in Indianapolis, and I think he got a race with Baltimore. If the Colts, in my opinion, are ever going to win the Super Bowl, they're going to have to go through the city of Baltimore to do it. When they won last time in Super Bowl 41, they had to survive the Ravens. So I think they have a curse in Baltimore, and I think they have a curse in Jacksonville. And until they overcome those, they will never advance. Right now they trail 10 points to the Jacksonville. Like in the end, they're going to lose 10 straight here in Jacksonville. I'm just here waiting for my Fan Go Media program that I have. So as soon as the game is over with, I'm going to be talking to fans as they exit the stadium. And if you guys just happen to be looking at this and you're inside, come by and see me. I got some cards for you. And if you subscribe to Fan Go Media, you have an opportunity to win 2 tickets to a home game of choice. So if you're in Tampa or Miami, it don't matter. Subscribe to Fan Go Media. You have guys like me who are going to be talking to every NFL city. I just happen to be the one doing. They have the other cities doing the same thing. And if you just log in, you can go and check the first 4 weeks of the season, commented by the fans in all the different NFL cities. Pretty interesting stuff. So if you're interested in that, take a look. But right now, the Colts, 4th quarter, you got about 11 minutes left. Look like they're going to be losing straight here in Jacksonville. So let me tell it, the Colts are cursed. All right, you too. The Colts are cursed. But Alabama, there's no reason why they should lose to time. I mean, I know you survived Georgia. Hey, how you doing? I had it turned the other way. But it's pretty fun down here hanging out with fans. But for some reason, this is like 2 games in a row. We got impending storms. Luckily, the skies aren't completely falling, but it is kind of moist out here. Fans starting to leave. Some of them got joyous looks on their face because they feel like they have the game won. But you never know until the game is over. It's not over in the NFL. Things happen at the blink of an eye. And hopefully for the Jaguars, they really need to hold on to the game and win because Doug Peterson, he lose this game, he's gone. Trevor Lawrence is already on the hot seat with fans, so unless he tighten up, he's going to be next one to go besides Peterson. But in his defense, he's seen the field pretty well all year. He just hasn't been hitting the passes, but today he's hitting the passes. Maybe it's the Tom Coughlin effect. You know, they're putting Tom Coughlin in the ring of honor today at the Jaguars, and he's got the fans all riled up with the throwback uniform thing. So it'll be a perfect cap for the Jaguars if they can somehow hold off the Colts and win this game. So I'm just out here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can flip the camera around, and you can see some of the fans exit the stadium here. And he's got some joyous looks on his face and got a little car there. This guy here doing it the old-fashioned way. They got it now where they got motors on them, electric bicycles, where you don't have to do all that pedaling. I don't know what he's doing. He's just driving around in circles here. And he's doing it the old-fashioned way, see? They got electric cars, electric bikes now. You just jump on, get your ride to wherever you need to go. So again, down here at Everbank Stadium, the Jaguars got a 10-point lead over the Colts. I can't quite see it. I mean, I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. You can kind of see the scoreboard a little bit, the Jumbotron, so you can watch a little bit of the game. And it's pretty interesting to see. Hey, man, ask you something, man. You a Colts fan?
Yes, sir.
You guys cursed, man? Why you can't win in Jacksonville, man?
I know.
10 straight look like. So, again, I'm out here on the east side of the stadium. Fans starting to slowly trickle out. Not like it's raining very hard, but I'm going to set up in the spot right here. I see the man over there here and chase me off. So I got chased off last home game from one of the parking lots over there. But if I get too close to Jaguars, they might come back and chase me off. But, you know, I ain't worried about it. I ain't worried about it at all. Because it's going to be a good time today. The Jaguars are winning. People feel like they got their money's worth, or some of them do. I picked up a guy on my rideshare platform the other day. He tells me the first game that they went to, he and his wife alone, they dropped $400 on a home game. An awful lot of money for one game. It's almost to the point where the common fan, he can't get to the game no more, especially with the economy the way it is now. People just don't have that extra money to spend. But at the same time, people will spend money on what they want to spend on, regardless if they can afford it or not. And I think that is the case for most NFL cities. And but the fact that the guy said just he and his wife paid $400 for one game, with parking tickets and everything else that goes into this, I think that's rather much, especially when I can turn on my TV and watch the game. But that's just the way it goes. But this is Sports for Real. I just want to talk a little bit about the Jaguars. I want to talk about that massive upset yesterday with Alabama getting knocked off by getting knocked off. What about these Jaguars, man? All right. I don't know what he said. But like I said, we're smiling faces out here with the Jaguars. They slowly starting to trickle out here. So I got to switch over gears to my Fango media. But I was mid-sentence about the Gators. Not the Gators, but Alabama. But speaking of the Gators, Richardson is the starting quarterback for the Colts. This is the second year that he's supposed to be a starting quarterback and make it to the game against the Jaguars. The Jaguars is the closest team to Gainesville. I mean, I criticized that pick because he was very inconsistent in Gainesville, and I couldn't see how you justify using a number one pick on him, especially the 4th slot, when to me he hadn't really proved anything. Yes, he showed flashes of brilliance, but he didn't play well enough to deserve a number one spot. They're picking him for what he could possibly do in the future. Well, might possibly become president. You gonna pay me for that? I speak well sometimes. I'm inconsistent at times like he is. You gonna pay me? This is a great time to be an athlete. You don't have to be the best, you have to be in the right spot. And if you show little flashes of brilliance, you can get paid like Anthony Richardson. You can get paid like Trevor Lawrence. Lose 9 straight games and still get a $250 contract extension. Man, what kind of world are we living in, man? That's just the way it is. It's a great time to be an athlete. All right, like I say, you get ready to go over to Fango Media. If you want to have an opportunity to win free tickets, log into Fango Media and subscribe. You will see all the different hometown responses from the NFL, and you will raffle to win 2 low-level tickets to the stadium. I don't know how they're going to go. Promotion is right now. So it's Fango Media. I'll be doing some video interviews shortly. I should do it now because we're starting to get a high level start out of the stadium. But right now the fans are all excited. They're up by 10 points and for the coach, good for the coach, especially like Joe Flacco. He just saying he can't do it like he used to. Anyway, this is Big Sports for Real, and check me out on Fango Media, and I'll be there in about 10 minutes, and when they edit it up, make sure you subscribe. By Tuesday, we'll have a Jaguars video online posted for you. So until then, this is Big Sports for Real. I'm out.